NewsNation's Allie Bradley is live in El Paso with more on the suspect's background in just a moment. But let's begin in Georgia, where Laken Riley's sorority held a vigil this afternoon honoring her life. NewsNation's Caitlyn Becker is there. And Caitlyn, this has been an emotional day for these students.
It's been so emotional today. There was a vigil just a few hours ago. It was all student organized here on the University of Georgia campus. Sororities and fraternities and the Greek life came together to honor Laken, as well as another University of Georgia student that had passed away last week. Her sorority sisters came in holding hands, holding flowers all together, and really kind of banded as one to honor her. The president of the Alpha Chi Omega sorority, which Laken was a part of, spoke out, and she didn't hold back her tears. Take a look.
Campus is really heavy right now. We're all heartbroken. I want to use this time to tell you about Laken and all she was to Alpha Chi. It is so obvious to me why it feels so dark right now, and that is because we lost one of the brightest lights that there's ever been. This campus and our sisterhood will never be the same without Laken Riley. Tell your friends that you love them, and never miss an opportunity for a sweet treat, one of Laken's favorite pastimes, and scream the lyrics to your favorite song as loud as you can. Be kind. Catch up with your friends.
You know, Elizabeth, she began that statement saying campus is very heavy, and that's absolutely what you felt palpably when this vigil was going on. I don't think the university expected the outpouring of support that we saw. There was huge overflow into the streets, into the sidewalks. More than, I think, 1,000 people were here, so people absolutely were coming together. There was a group of nursing students in their scrubs from Augusta University, which is where she was currently enrolled, and it kind of took a moment because they really stood out in the crowd, and it made me emotional.
Yeah, it's very emotional watching that. And as we could see, massive, massive crowds there to honor Laken Riley. All right, Caitlyn, thank you so much. As we mentioned moments ago, 26-year-old Jose Ibarra crossed into the United States illegally near El Paso, Texas, in September of 2022. And that is where we find NewsNation's Allie Bradley. Allie, what do we know about this suspect? We know he came from Venezuela. We know he claimed that he was afraid to return.
Yeah, Elizabeth, so we're actually standing in the area where Jose Ibarra apparently crossed in September of 2022 and between the ports illegally, of course, according to CBP sources. And here's what else we know about the man who, of course, is facing these gruesome charges against Laken Riley. So what we know here is that he was arrested by Border Patrol. We found out actually through sources, Elizabeth, that Jose Ibarra was only in custody for 21 hours before he was released by Border Patrol on parole. Now, that gave him the chance to really roam freely and do whatever he wanted to do in the country and stay here. He was allowed to be here. Now, he was arrested about a year later in August of 2023. And what CBP says is he was charged with, quote, acting in a manner to injure a child less than 17. Reports show he was on a moped with this child who was apparently not wearing a helmet. Jose Ibarra also didn't have a driver's license, so that was an issue there, right? CBP saying that he was released by NYPD before a detainer could be placed on him. Of course, we know New York is a sanctuary city and sanctuary state. New York right now saying that they don't have records of Ibarra's arrest, even though ICE has confirmed that. CBP sources tell me that Ibarra should have been removed from the country when that infraction happened. Congressman Mike Collins, who represents the district that includes Athens, where, of course, this gruesome crime happened, he is calling for the city to not be a sanctuary city any longer, slamming that move, and also calling for officials to step down. Take a listen.
I'm calling for these county officials and the mayor and the DA, they need to resign. If that's the rules that you wanted to play by and what you wanted to see done, now you have seen what happens, and you need to be held accountable for that.
Okay, so Elizabeth, a lot of pieces here. Jose Ibarra, apparently when he was processed as a single adult. He did come in with a woman and child who later say that they got married in order to merge their asylum cases. They later separated, and that is when Jose Ibarra went over to Georgia to be where his brother Diego lived. Now, ICE sources tell me that Ibarra's brother Diego, he entered through El Paso as well, but in April of 2023. And that interaction when he crossed the border actually led to a violent interaction with Border Patrol, where a Border Patrol agent was assaulted, Elizabeth. Now, the person that was with Diego, he's in jail right now, sitting in jail in 22 months for assaulting that agent and for illegal entry. Diego, though, he claimed he had epilepsy. He was turned over to ICE and ultimately released, like his brother, on parole. So that's what we're dealing with both of these brothers.
Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.